Hello and welcome. This is Mr. Buss, and I'm going to go through this 5C multiple alleles worksheet. We're getting near the end of our genetics unit. There'll be another series of videos with linked genes, but we're getting near the end here for the AP Bio unit on heredity. Okay, so there's other examples of multiple alleles, but we're going to exclusively look at blood typing in humans just for this worksheet. So multiple alleles, obviously, up until now, we've looked at traits that had two alleles. So for instance, for pea plant tallness, it would be big T would be coding for tall pea plant, and little t would be the allele for a short pea plant. And of course, to be short for pea plants, it would have to be little t, little t. Well, for multiple alleles, we're gonna have three. Okay, so for blood type, there's going to be three alleles. Okay, so number one, the ability to produce the A protein. So on your blood, you have proteins on your blood. I'll just scroll to them here. So like, if the circles here are blood cells, then these represent proteins or receptor proteins that are just existing on the surface of your blood. Okay, so the ability to produce A protein is called isoagglutinogen A. So we'll just kind of do capital I superscript A. So that's the allele that produces the A protein. Similar for the B protein, but it's capital I superscript B. And then the inability to produce either protein, basically you just need a placeholder here. So this is meaning that it's a gene that's not going to produce a protein. And we'll just call that little I. So that doesn't produce anything. And the IA allele produces the A protein, and the IB allele produces the B protein. So you're going to have a combination. You have a combination of two of those three. You might have, well, let's take a look at those combinations next. Those would be called genotypes, right? And then this concept is that these are basically considered like dominant. So we're going to call them codominant to each other. So one doesn't suppress the other. They'll both be expressed if you have both of them. And then the I is recessive because it doesn't do anything. Okay, so if you have type A blood, so you either have type A, type B, type AB, or type O. Now, it does get more complex. You could be like A positive, O negative, those types of things. But we're going to exclude the positive and negative, which is called the RH factor. We're just going to talk about whether you're type A, B, AB, or O for this worksheet. So if you're type A, you have the IA allele. You either have it twice, okay, or you have it once along with the little I, which again is just kind of a placeholder. Gene doesn't do anything. So to have type A blood, you have to have the IA allele. To have type B, it's very similar, but it's just going to be IB, or IB little I. Okay, type AB, of course, is one of each of those. And type O would be neither of those. So those are the 6 possible combinations. So those are the 6 genotypes. Even though there's 3 alleles, you only get 2. You get one from biological mother and one from biological father. And again, so your blood would either be, this would be like on the left, this would be type O, this would be type A, type B, and type AB. So I'm talking about blood donations. If you are type O, you don't have any markers on the surface of your blood. And so if you were to need blood and it were to receive type A, which has these markers, your body would recognize those and treat it as a foreign invader, and that would not be good. Your body would be trying to fight off all these blood cells that aren't going to hurt you, but your body doesn't know that because it recognizes them as foreign. Likewise, if you have type A blood and you receive type B blood in the donation, if you need blood, your body will recognize the B protein as a foreign protein and try to destroy it. And again, that would be bad. And if you are type AB blood, of course, your body recognizes both A and B proteins. So you can receive type AB blood. You can receive type B blood because it'll recognize the B. You can receive type A, and you can receive type O because there's nothing on O to be recognized. So type AB blood is known as the universal recipient. You could receive blood that is any blood type. Type A, type B, type O, and type AB. If you are type O, however, you cannot receive any of those because your body would have a hard time with that. And so if you're type O, you can only receive type O blood. So O is known as the universal donor, especially O negative, talking about that other factor, the Rh factor. And the blood chart just kind of shows that O can donate to people that have type A, type AB, or B, and so on. But AB can only receive those types of blood. It could donate. If you're type AB, you could donate, but the only people that could receive your blood would be other type AB people. So let's work out some problems, knowing that we have, right, you're going to reference these genotypes as you're doing this. So number one, a woman with type O blood. So she would be little I. And a man who's type AB are expecting a child. What are the possible blood types of the child? So go ahead and, just like before, we're going to work out a Punnett square. Doesn't matter which side you put these, but let's go ahead and do it this way. Okay, bring the letters or the alleles across and down. Okay, so it looks like there is a 50% chance that the offspring will be type A, and a 50% chance that the offspring will be type B. Again, which is interesting because that's neither of the parents. The parents were type O and type AB, and so their children are going to be either type A or B, which is not the phenotype, right, of the parents. Number two, again, the best thing to do is probably just write out the genotypes right away. A woman homozygous for type B, and a man who is homozygous for type A are expecting a child. What are the possible blood types? Same thing. Genotypes cross and down, and I'm just going to kind of show this will be the same for all of them, right? So there's a 100% chance that the child will be type AB. Number three, what are the possible blood types of a child if the parents are both heterozygous for type B? Heterozygous for type B would be this one. Okay. Okay, so it looks like in this cross, there is a 75% chance that the child would be type B, and there's a 25% chance that the child would be type O. Number four, determine the possible genotypes and phenotypes with respect to blood type for a couple whose blood types are possible genotypes of the offspring. I guess I forgot to put that word in there. For a couple whose blood types are homozygous A, do that, and heterozygous B. I forgot to mention, if you're just watching me do this worksheet at this point, why don't you pause and do the rest of the problems, okay? And then just check your answers. You know, I think you're going to learn better if you are trying these on your own and then just watching the rest of the video, or even just fast forwarding to the rest of the video and seeing if you're getting the right answers, okay? So go ahead and set up the cross. I usually write A before B, of course. I'm gonna choose a little smaller. There we go. So here in this cross, we have a 50% chance to get type AB and a 50% chance to get type A. Number 5, what are the chances of a woman with type AB and a man with type A? We don't know if they're homozygous or heterozygous. So they are either this or that. Having a child with type O. So remember, to get type O blood, you have to be little I. So that means if you have type O blood, you received a little I allele from both mom and dad, biological mother and biological father. Okay, well, it's possible if the man that has type A is heterozygous, it's possible that the child could receive one little I. But if the woman is type IA/IB, she cannot pass on a little I allele, so that's just not going to happen. It's not possible for this couple to have a child, so let's rate 0% chance with type O. Number 6, Jill has blood type O, so she's little I. She has 2 brothers with blood types A, so IA something, right, and B, IB something, and that something is either, right, that something is either another IA for this one or a little I, and this something is IB or a little I. What are her parents' genotypes for blood type? Okay, well, Jill had to receive a little I from both parents. So we know that if this is parent 1, parent 1 had a little I to pass on, at least one. And we know that parent 2 also had a little I to pass on because Jill has type O blood. So both parents needed to have at least one little I to pass on. But if you look at the rest of the problem, okay, we also have to have, the parents have to have these alleles. So parent 1 might have had the IA, and parent 2 might have had the IB. And it's possible, if you set up the Punnett square cross, it's possible to get type A, type B, type AB, or type O. So it's possible that the children have any of those 4 blood types. If you have heterozygous A and heterozygous B as parents, you can result could be children with any of the 4 blood types. Number 7, a test was done to determine the biological father of a child. So this isn't a typical paternity test. This is just a way to do a really quick, is it possible for this child to be the child of a certain father or not, because of the way blood typing works. So if the child's blood type is A. So the child is A, so the child has at least IA or IA little I. Child's one of those 2. And the mother is type B. So this is going to make it pretty obvious. So the mother is IB, or IB little I. Mother's one of those. So the child needs to get an IA allele, right? Because there's no way the child has a genotype without the IA allele. Okay, the mother, being type B, probably gave the child the little I, and that means that this is probably the only genotype of the child. So the child needs to get the IA allele from someone. Possible father 1 has a blood type of 0. Well, that's little I. So possible father number 1 can't be the father of this child in this situation, because the child needs to get an IA allele. Possible father 2 has blood type AB. So that means that there's an A, and that A could have been passed on to the child. That doesn't mean that that is the father. I'm just saying that that's, you can exclude father 1 because there's no way that father 1 could have fathered that child with this mother, being that she was type B for blood. Anyway, that was multiple alleles. There's going to be some other examples of like, I know one classic one is like chinchilla coat color and stuff like that, where you're looking at just more than 2 different coat colors and such. So hope that went well, and good luck with the rest of the worksheet or the rest of the folders, and I'll probably be talking to you in the next video.